Hiya. So, today I am going to be talking about Stoicism. And so, Stoicism is essentially reacting, controlling our reactions, right? So, Stoicism's pretty much modern Stoicism at least is a lot about just not letting stuff phase us in trying to not feel negative emotions from the things that we can't control, right? So, like a base definition is that in Stoicism, we have to control our reactions to things out of our control. Because since they're out of our control, we have no reason to feel these negative emotions, right? Like, we couldn't do anything about it, so why should I let it make me sad? I couldn't change anything about it, so why should I let it make me angry, right? And while on paper, this sounds amazing, it completely sucks in practice at first because not the actual idea, right? Because it's awesome, right? Not feeling negative emotions. But then when you get past that, it's like, yeah, I'm telling you to just don't feel negative emotions. Thanks a lot. That helped me so much. Like it's so much easier said than done. It's like going up to a depressed person, telling them to just stop being depressed, except not quite. It's a sad person, because depression is like a mental condition and all that. And I relate to this one a lot because I'm a pretty good stoic, I'd say, and not just like I don't let any I just like me personally, I just don't really feel like negative emotions like often at all, like rarely. And I think I'm just like a natural stoic because like I couldn't control it, and at the and when I think about it, it's like I have no reason to be angry or sad because it didn't affect me that much, right? So I just don't. And I'm different though. I'm very different from a lot of people. And for a lot of people, stoicism can be really, really bad. Like it can be really hard to or impossible to because people process emotions differently. And that's completely fine. Because like it's not like negative emotions aren't a bad thing. It's okay to feel negative emotions. It's just how we express that. And in stoicism, we should express it by just accepting what has happened, accepting that we might feel angry, and then trying not to because we have no reason to. But it's because it's different because it's like you're not feeling the emotion rather than you're just like you're like shoving it down a pit and into like the deepest depths of yourself and then just forgetting about it. It's different. Um, I think a particularly interesting thing is like I think I said this last video, but it's like comparing an ancient version of a philosophy to its now modernized version, because modern Stoicism right now is so much different from ancient Stoicism. Modern Stoicism right now, in like mainstream Stoicism, it's all those like gym workout, like Stoic quotes. It's stupid, like AI slop. It's just like talking about like getting quotes and not even like explaining it, just like quotes like "Hope you go to the gym" and masculinity or something like that. And it's stupid. But I think modern Stoicism is in like the fact that the only thing that we've like taken that has remained of Stoicism throughout the history is like Marcus Aurelius stuff, where like from meditations, where we need to be calm, that we should not let things affect us. We should find contentment and peace where we are instead of trying to go somewhere else to find peace. Everything that we have to, everything that we need to bring us inner comfort, peace, and happiness is within ourselves, and we just need to find that within ourselves and focus through meditation and whatnot. And I think that's really like powerful because like no matter what situation you're in, if you practice stoicism, you can find happiness in whatever you're doing. But it's very hard to like follow through because like a true stoic, you can because nobody can ever be a true stoic because it goes against like because we're all human, right? We're all gonna have feel negative emotions. We're all going to have something that shakes us to our core, and that's okay. But but applying some stoicism would make everybody's lives so much better because we wouldn't have to feel as many negative emotions as we would without stoicism. But going back to ancient Stoicism, it's interesting because in ancient Stoicism, it's a whole like thinking process where there's three branches. You have, let me look this up. Because in ancient Stoicism, you had logic, physics, and ethics. And it's essentially like it wasn't just like controlling your emotions, it was also like how the world works and like the universe and how the world is constructed and then gods. It was like that. It was a lot of like interesting stuff that had to do with like obviously back in like when it was first created, it was a lot of like trying to understand the world as well, rather than and trying to achieve like I guess these sort of like religious goals, but not like religious, like these like goals in our thought systems. That's really interesting. But over time, people like real. But it's interesting because every philosophy over time, people look at it, but then they just take away what they think's useful because it's talking about how the world works, but we know how the world works, right? Through science. So we don't need that anymore. So we push that aside and just take in what we can that will help us in our life, which is controlling our emotions, being peaceful, thinking to make us happy. And that's a really interesting part. And it's not just philosophy, it's like a lot of things too. And it doesn't mean they're useless though. They're just like, I guess, neglected, but they still bring up like interesting conversation and discussion. Though I'd say I'm not like enough, well, I'm not nearly enough well versed in like ancient Stoicism to have a full conversation about it. I just know that it exists. And like how would Stoicism, its practicality. It depends on the person. It can be awful because it's hard for people to like people who process emotions differently. It can be hard for them to apply stoicism and not feel negative emotions. But then on the other hand, it can be way easier for someone to do that. I'd say like uncocky like myself, and I can use stoicism to a much greater effect than somebody else. Some and how it looks in someone's life, like one moment. Um, I think it's really simple. It's just people just wouldn't be as people would just be happier if they and more content and peaceful and tranquil if they practice stoicism. That's about it, really. I wrote down well like a little bit that I said mainstream media will bring to light kind of ruining stoicism. That's definitely not the case. It's not ruining it at all, like at all. But it's definitely like shames the image a little bit when it's just like not true stoicism and it's just like I don't know, like just like gym quotes, like alpha male stuff that's like really stupid. The quotes though are awesome. It's just like the actual video, and it's like it doesn't get into stoicism. It's just quotes and from like meditation. And it's like, wow, thank you. I would recommend reading Meditations though. I personally haven't. It's written by Marcus Aurelius. He was a Roman emperor, closely and philosopher closely related with Stoicism, and I think I have it right here. This is his journal, and it has a bunch of awesome quotes about Stoicism and life and stuff. And it's a really good read. I would definitely recommend, even though I haven't. Everything says it's good though. I definitely want to read it at some point, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, um, and I think like the main takeaway is just that we should just try to take the things that we can from philosophies that would benefit us in life. Like Stoicism, you don't have to take the full thing, but you can take a little bit. You can do a little bit of Stoicism, and it'll make you a little bit happier. And that's great. That's a great addition to your life. So yeah, this one was probably a little bit of a short one, but that's everything I really wanted to say. Stoicism is kind of awesome. I relate to it a lot. It helps me a lot, but it's not for everybody, definitely, because it's just like obviously I think you can like train your brain to like maybe be more of a stoic, but like aside from that, it's just scratch that actually. Let me continue. When people think of stoic, it's like people think of stoicism. When people someone's stoic, they don't like show emotion, right? But that's not the case with stoicism. It's not that you're not showing emotion because you're happy. You show happy, positive emotions. It's just that you try to prevent yourself from feeling the negative ones. That's the main talking point. And it's not in like a negative way where it's like you'd like any like negative criticism, you don't let like negative criticism affect you, so that you like cocky and arrogant. It's not like that. It's that you take the criticism, but you don't let it negatively affect you. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I think in someone's life it'd be simple. They'd just be happier and more peaceful, but it's really hard. Stoicism's really hard to apply. It's like one of the because it's so simple but so difficult at the same time. So yeah, that's all I had to talk to you about today about Stoicism. I'll make another video on it because I really like it. It's really interesting. Maybe I'll do an ancient Stoicism video. But that's all I had to say. So disagree with me or agree with me or have anything to say in the comments, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.